Good afternoon. It's almost as good as one of my classes. Thank you very much. My name is Robert Halliday. I'm the Dean for Graduate Studies, and I am presiding over this particular part of the ceremony. First off, I wanted to welcome you to what is only our second graduate commencement in this truly fabulous Stanley Theater. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes, but I just have a few announcements before we get going. After the ceremony, I know you know this already because you've been reading your emails and your communications, but we'll invite you all back to the Utica College campus where there is a reception set out and a chance for faculty, staff, students, parents to mingle and talk to each other. There'll be buses leaving for the campus from right outside the door as soon as the ceremony is finished. During the ceremony, please, I must ask you to remain in your seats. The logistics of moving students in, out, and back to their seats and across the stage in an orderly fashion are tricky. And so please do remain in your seats. Also, please don't come out of your seat to take photographs. We have 3 professional photographers taking photographs, and students will be receiving an email within 72 hours with a link where you can purchase photographs of different stages of the ceremony. It's also truly wonderful to see so many families here. I know that many of you have come a long way, and there's large groups of you, and that is wonderful. As a father, I know that sometimes children find long ceremonies difficult. So if you have a young one who's getting restless, we have set aside a room out the back and upstairs where there's actually a streaming live feed of the ceremony, so you won't miss anything, but small children can feel free to express themselves. Please also, if you haven't already, put your phone on silent, vibrate, or off. There's nothing quite as embarrassing as having it go off during a solemn moment during the middle of the ceremony. Finally, you'll notice that there are a number of people wearing orange robes. They are our volunteer marshals, and they are the people who are responsible for making sure everything goes off without a hitch. So if they ask you to do something, please do it. If you have a question, they will probably know the answer. That's it. I'm off. Thank you very much. And let the ceremony commence.
Mr. President, I declare that this graduation exercise of Utica College is now in session.
Please remain standing for the national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Please be seated, everyone. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great honor to welcome you to Utica College's second graduate commencement ceremony. This ceremony gives us the opportunity to focus on our graduate students and celebrate those who have worked so hard and traveled so far for this special moment. Let me first begin by officially congratulating you, our students, for your significant accomplishments, and to urge you not to forget Utica College, your professors, or your fellow students. Whether you took classes on the UC campus or studied online, you've had the support of countless people who now wish you much success in wherever your travels may take you. Continue to work hard and let your future be a reflection of the fine education that you received at Utica College. I would also like to recognize your friends and family without whose support and encouragement you would not be here today. Please join us in a round of applause for your family members.
It is my pleasure and honor to introduce this year's graduate commencement speaker, Tracy Hatt Doring. Tracy Hatt Doring is a 2011 graduate of Utica College's Economic Crime Management Master's Degree Program and currently works as a senior analyst with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in Washington, D.C. Tracy began her career in the financial industry just after obtaining her bachelor's degree in business administration from Eastern Michigan University in 1998. Beginning as a teller, first for a bank and then for various credit unions, she progressed through the ranks, holding several positions until she finally rose to that of compliance and security director for a $100 million plus federal credit bureau. While working as the compliance and security director, Tracy obtained her National Federal Credit Union Certified Compliance Officer designation and also founded the Jackson Area Fraud Investigators Group. In 2006, Tracy transitioned to a career in financial regulation when she accepted the position as a mortgage investigator examiner, and then, a few years later, as an investment advisor specialist investigator with the state of Michigan. She conducted investigations of licensed mortgage brokers, servicers and lenders, and registered investment advisors and broker-dealers in the state of Michigan. Tracy's work led to many individuals being prohibited from the mortgage industry and also led to several criminal prosecutions. It also allowed her the opportunity to work closely with many state and federal investigative agencies. It was while she was working for the state of Michigan that Tracy began and completed the master's program in economic crime management at Utica College and also obtained her certified fraud examiner designation. Please join me in welcoming UC alumna Tracy Hatt Doring.
Congratulations to you, graduates of 2013, for obtaining your master's degrees. It's something you should be very, very proud of. I remember 2 years ago when I sat out there with some of my cohorts getting ready to walk across the stage. It was such a great feeling to know that we had finally made it. It was a great moment in my life as my parents, my husband, and my young children watched me walk across the stage. And I'm happy to see so many families out here today to share in your moment of greatness. I still remember the speaker that was up here during my graduation ceremony, Gary Kunith, as he talked about life, ensuring that you didn't let it pass you by and that you made time for your family. It was a great message that I hold to this day, and I just hope I can do you justice by giving you some bits of wisdom today that you will remember in the years to come. When I received that first call from Dean Halliday asking if I would be the commencement speaker today, I have to say I was in shock. The very first thought that popped into my head was, I'm not famous, because of course, when I think of a commencement speaker, I automatically think of someone like Bill Gates, or Bill Cosby, or Eugene Robinson, who happens to be the commencement speaker for tomorrow's undergrad ceremony. I think I'm the opening act. I had many other crazy thoughts that went through my head, such as, was I important enough to do this, or was I up to the task? After many days of these worrying thoughts, I knew I had to get to work preparing for today. So I spent many, many frustrating hours thinking about what I could possibly say up here. Would I have thoughtful words? Would I inspire anyone? Or, more likely, would I be the reason that one of you completed another level in Candy Crush? Writing out my thoughts helped me conquer one of my initial worries, that I would not be the right choice. It hit me, though, while I was writing down my thoughts, that although I may not be famous, I've accomplished many things in my life and made my own path in doing it. So that, I decided, is what I hope to share with you today, that each and every one of you is important in your own right, that only you can define who you want to be, and that you can create your own path in life. To help explain what I mean, I need to tell you a little story about my journey to where I am today. Up until last year, I lived in the same small town in Michigan for almost my entire life. A town that has one blinking yellow stoplight, lots of cows and farm equipment, and just received its first fast food chain restaurant, Subway, last year. After graduating high school, I went away to college, a college that happened to be only 45 minutes from my home, and then in the end, moved back to that same small town after graduation, where I started searching for a job. In the end, I ended up with a job as a teller at a local bank in a nearby town. I slowly moved my way through the ranks at a few different financial institutions around the area, working at positions such as customer service representative, loan officer, teller manager, and even an IT analyst. I eventually obtained a branch manager position at a large federal credit union. After working in that position for about a year, I saw an opportunity that I wanted to jump on. New federal banking laws were coming into effect, and those laws required the credit union to look for a compliance officer, as they currently had no one in that role. Seeing this as an opportunity to learn something new, I jumped at it and offered to take on the position in addition to my management role. Turned out I loved the job, and I dove into it head first, eventually becoming a full-time compliance officer. Let me pause here to assure you that jumping from position to position within the same type of work is normal, although I wouldn't recommend you do it too frequently. But think about it. How can you know what your passion really is unless you try a few different things? And the type of background that experience provides for can only help give you a good overall perspective in jobs to come. Think of yourself as a Monopoly piece moving around the board. You cannot pass go and collect $200 if you do not make a few stops along your trip around the board. Similarly, you cannot pass go in your career and be successful or make a difference if you do not have a broad perspective on other jobs. But I digress. Back to my story. At this point, things were going great. I thought my career was on track, and I was excelling at what I was doing. I enjoyed it very much, and I had just found out I was pregnant with my second child. Life was going good until, right after I got that news, a major roadblock was put in my path. I was surprised to learn that I would soon be getting a divorce and becoming a single mom. I discovered that life can definitely turn on a dime, and that the path you have laid out for yourself seldom goes in a straight line. I'm sure many of you can relate to such twists and turns, but in the end, all you can do is hope that those twists and turns make you a stronger person. My divorce was final a month after my daughter was born, and I realized quite quickly I was not able to take care of 2 young children on my own. So I rented out my house, and 8 years after moving out of my parents' home, moved back in with them. I was now that person who lived in their parents' basement. I never imagined that would be my life. I was a little depressed by this fact, even though in the end it turned out to be a blessing. But who knew at that time? Anyway, I threw myself into my work and my kids. When I wasn't watching Little League games or going on playdates with children, I was studying all of the laws and regulations in the financial industry. I was able to convince my employer to send me to the National Credit Union Association Compliance School in Washington, D.C., to become a certified compliance officer. It's during those classes that I decided I really wanted to work in the D.C. area, regulating the financial industry. Someday, I thought, that would be me, living in the big city, waiting for the metro train, going to Starbucks for mobile meetings, and walking by the White House on my way to anywhere. But now wasn't the time. I continued on with the credit union and became the compliance and security director. I sold my house and purchased a new one right up the street from my parents. And best of all, I was remarried. But once more, a rock was thrown into my path. The president of the credit union I'd been working for decided that he no longer wanted a compliance department or a full-time dedicated compliance officer. So I would soon be transitioning to a branch manager at a local station. I didn't much like this idea because I didn't want to work for a company that didn't foster a compliance culture. So I started looking for a new job. As luck would have it, I saw a position posted for a mortgage examiner with the state of Michigan and decided to apply. I received an interview, but to my surprise, was told that the position would require weekly travel. This aspect was pretty important to me because I still had 2 young children to take care of. As I left the interview and was pondering this newly discovered fact, I received a call back for a second interview. Although I was still undecided on if I really wanted the position, I still accepted the second interview anyway. After a long discussion with my family on the pros and cons of the job, I decided that I would accept the position if offered. It would be a challenge, and besides the travel aspect, the position sounded exactly like what I was looking for. The job was eventually offered to me, and I did accept it. And it turns out that the job was what I was looking for, and again, I loved what I was doing. And thankfully, there wasn't as much travel as I thought. So my path in life was now again on the straight and narrow. Time passed by, and I took on bigger and more complex assignments. I became a senior examiner and was training and mentoring others. I eventually decided I needed to kick it up a notch and challenge myself even more. So I started to seriously consider what else I could do to help throw my career into high gear. I ended up investigating a large mortgage fraud case with some federal government agencies and realized I had a passion for investigating financial fraud. It was, I thought, a slight variation on financial regulation, but I knew it was something I could pursue. The path I followed from teller to aspiring financial fraud investigator was, to put it mildly, a curvy one. But now I knew where I wanted my path to lead. So, being me, I decided to research what was the best way to achieve this new goal. I discovered something called a certified fraud examiner, which eventually led me to the Economic Crime Management Master's program here at Utica. I contemplated going back to college, wavering on the decision day by day. Did I really want to go back to college 11 years after graduating with my bachelor's? Was it even possible? It was a very, very difficult decision to make, as there were so many things to think about, questions that some of you may have asked yourself in the past. Did I want to take on more student loan debt? Did I want to give up time with my family? Would I be able to continue working? In the end, though, those questions did not deter me from pushing forward on this path I wanted to create for myself. With help from my husband and my parents, I went back to college, continued on with my job, made sure my children received the attention they deserved, and graduated with my master's degree here at Utica. During this time, I also studied for and obtained my Certified Fraud Examiner certification and started a new position within the state in a different field of financial regulation. It was hard at times, but I managed by looking forward to where I wanted my steps to take me. So I had my degree. Now what was I going to do? One option I had was to move into a management position back at the mortgage section of the state of Michigan. I decided that I wanted more for myself because it sounded too comfortable and easy for me. So I began applying to new jobs. Lots of jobs, mainly in other states. Michigan was my home, but I needed a change. One job I applied for was a senior analyst at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or as we call ourselves, the CFPB. I was thinking, wow, to work for a startup federal agency that was created as a result of the financial market collapse we had, right up my alley. Someone at CFPB thought so as well, because I was offered the job in DC. After discussing it with my family, I decided to accept the position. So I packed up my family, moved away from the only place we have ever lived, and made the move to Washington to start my career at the CFPB. It seems like a lifetime ago that I was that single mother who had to put things on hold, who had to move into her parents' basement with a suitcase of doubt on her shoulders. Now, however, I am that person that many years ago I wanted to be. I'm the one riding the metro. I'm the one going to Starbucks for mobile meetings. And I'm the one that's walking by the White House every day. What a long and crazy path I've traveled to get here before you today. And I know that my path will have many more twists and turns down the road. As you can see, though, I've done nothing that anyone would consider me to be famous for. I'm just a normal person, like many of you, with a story about never settling for good enough, for pushing forward, and aspiring to do bigger things. We all have our own stories along this journey in life, and we have all had, or will have, several reasons to quit along the way, to take our foot off the gas and slow down, or even to settle for just good enough. Can any of you relate to the story that I just told? Have you ever experienced that overwhelming obstacle in the road that you're just not sure you can climb over? I need to tell you that although there are many reasons to stop and give up, all you need is one reason to keep moving forward and striving for something more. What sacrifices and tough decisions have you had to make on your journey here? And what sacrifices and tough decisions are you going to have to make in the future? Just know that the path you take and the obstacles you overcome in that path will lead you to your personal greatness. I encourage all of you to look back, as I do quite often, at some of the decisions you've made and ask yourself, how far down that path have I come? And hopefully you will realize all the great things you have done. And always remember to measure your success by how far you've come from where you first began, and you will see how important you really are. From one Utica alum to another, Congratulations, and the best of luck in making your own path.
Thank you, Tracy, for those insightful remarks. You certainly do represent everything we would wish for our graduates from Utica College.
It is now time to confer upon our students the degrees for which they have worked so hard, and to hood them in recognition of their accomplishments and their right to enter the scholarly community. We do this in two stages. First, the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Larry Gilroy, will confer the degrees by degree type. Then the students will come up onto the stage to receive their hood. Each student will be hooded by the dean of their academic school and the chair of their program. Now, will the candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree please stand? I have the honor to present the doctoral candidates of the Utica College class of 2013 as duly qualified to receive their degrees.
By the authority of Utica College Board of Trustees, with the faculty concurring, I confer upon you the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree. The diploma you receive is your evidence of our action. You may be seated.
Will the remaining students, all of whom are candidates for the Master's of Science degree, the Master of Science in Education degree, the Master's of Business Administration degree, or the Certificate of Advanced Study, please stand. I have the honor to present the Master's degree and Certificate of Advanced Study candidates of the Utica College class of 2013 as duly qualified to receive their degrees.
By the authority of the Utica College Board of Trustees, with the faculty concurring, I confer upon you the Master of Science degree, the Master of Science in Education degree, the Master of Business Administration degree, or the Certificate of Advanced Study appropriate to your course of study. The diploma you receive is your evidence of our action. You may be seated.
The presentation of graduate academic hoods is a special recognition for doctoral and master's candidates, during which the appropriate school dean, assisted by the program director, places a hood over each graduate, signifying his or her success in completing a graduate program. The academic hood has important meaning for three reasons. First, it is a symbolic gesture that conveys full-fledged membership into the academic community of scholars. Second, the color of the facing of the academic hoods denotes the discipline of study. Finally, the color of the lining of the hood denotes the institution awarding the degree. In this case, you forever proudly wear the colors of Utica College, blue and orange. As our doctoral and master's candidates come forward, they will receive their academic hoods. Robert Holliday, Dean for Graduate Studies, will now present our graduate degree candidates. Dr. Holliday.
As your row is called by the marshal, will the Doctor of Physical Therapy candidates please come forward? Priyanka Suryavanshi. Catherine Jean DeGarmo. Ritesh Gandhi. Judy Phipps. Wendy Marie Zorman. Carrie Elizabeth Main. Svetlana Kotlin. Jean McQuaid. Roy Ferdinand Manuel. Raymond Carvajal Quick. Wibakar Karambal Kar. Sandinya Kurapali Chiranjeevi. Adhara May Ramirez. Anne-Marie Tan Aldegar Dimartulok. Wayne Sembrano. Mark Carlisle Julio Yalihalai. Gary Martin Abanyu. Irelina Lumbrera Sumagese. Florence Obigosa Cuesvas. Edgar Michael Cuevas. Edward Riabo. Kruti Makani. Krupa Doshi. Archon Sa. Basha Jalandhara. Pathkumar Patak. Sveta Kusuryakant Christian. Ben J. Varghese. Vimal Johnson. Purnima Jory. Margaret McLeod Barnardo Smith. Karen Marie von Berg. Anne Martha Spar. Kyle Mack. Bart Roman. Viren Sukadaya. Kinkalkutumari Panchal. Hirol Ubadai. Brijesh Patel. Toby Stalin Manuel. Vipan Mupadi. Malik Ashfaq. Hirel Patel. Chirag Vedda. Jeannie Frances Lariosa Villamonte. Sonora Joy Villanueva Brioso. Mary Beth Valando Curabin. Marisol Enriquez. John Luminog. Praveen Kumar Garikapati Rabindranath. Mark John Fernando Yaco. Rodolfo Pagador Riolabin. Maureen Gonzalez Abanoa. Christine Lalisan. Dipti Raval. Marisol Barion Soalog. Arlene Tolentino. Mylene Matro. Peachy May Reyes Monfredo. Donna Jose. Arthur P. Mendoza. Kelly Ann Spees. Pritesh Patel. Michael Russo. Oliver Francis Rivera. Dandy Ray LaCuesta. Zita Mendoza da Siligo. Jerome Amontiquan. Juan Carlos Garilao. Gladys Fernandez. Rowena Winko. Maria Corazon Gonzalez Abaco. Dasan Nair. Pia Christine Galimba. Annabelle Ogirogo. Clarice Komoto. Winnie Hugo. Cherry Jane Pangod. Glenda Castaneda. Florence Bonus. Elna J. Asoro. Johanna Angela Fernandez. Michelle Graham. Mary-Liz Jimenez Macapil. Maria Soledad Figueroa Alberto. Iris Ancheta Ignacio. Paul Vincent Castillo Evangelista. Reyezon Serena Videz. Jose Rudy Vargas. Maivani Jogao. Julio Cesar Nicolas Nalar. Marvin Dennis Pradu. Paul Terry Dudzinski. Christopher Ray Dollar. Reshmi Menon Sharma. Roberta Jane Kelly Cote. Palavai Kakari Audrey. Diptia Bhatia. Veena Hotchband Gubani. Parag Kamleshbhai Barot. Aisha Hume. Rinku Prasad. Piyush Parsatambai Patel. Rafael Marquez. Venkatasan Sivaraman. Kalpana Balasubramanian. Mukaila Alagbi Karim. Tajuddin Oligasu Shun Isola Gabendia. Myra Choi. Jason Gagnon. Dondon Domingo Parangol. Gladys Joy Curton. Arlene Lim Ong Torio. Hilda Garcia Espejo. Anne Frances Dazuba. Sybil Edward. Lucia Corriette. Michelle Celine Leslie. Irsa Zachariah. Ganesh Shanmuga. Joanna Ruth Lynch Meyer. Sally Ann Fisher. Lucy Huang. Inika Greenwood. Shweta Gupta. Withia Thortakura. Willie Mae Thomas. A. San Victores Galvez. Adonaya Mavura Mukona. Liliane Manyunda Mapaza. Dumi Sunny Mapofu. On campus? Okay, thanks. Casey McDonald. Brett Michael Wise. Eric Andrew Cole. Andrew Green. Ryan Christopher Strang. Jeffrey Miles Kinney. Anthony DeSalvo. Adam Patel. Daniel Christopher Patel. Christopher Kane. Melissa A. Ramsdorf. Christine Marie Williams. Ashley Cortuli. Jennifer Lynn Francis. Lindsay Ann Jester. Lucy Papia. J. Thomas Mezawa. Alan Cole Williams III. Nicholas Testa. Jonathan Small. Danielle Kristen Knaut. Miranda K. Austin. Courtney M. Wyman. Stephanie Neuerberg. Erica Lillian Klein. Tara Singh. Diane Machazinski. Julianne Schulteis. Emily M. Schmidt. Lauren Nicole Pence. Mackenzie Jane Stuck. Monique Marie Schneeberger. Will the master's degree candidates in education and certificate of advanced study candidates in education please come forward? Joseph Daniel Landry. Monica Bravo. Connor Griffey Downing. Courtney Johnson. Hillary Bard. Jody Spinks. Kimberly Crossman. Elisa Vogt. Crystal Monique Brown. Julia Galimi. Will the master's degree candidates in occupational therapy please come forward? Lauren Collier. Amber Lynn McMichael. Enos Galal. Catherine Kerr. Joan Marie Hempstead. Jessica Rose Morrissey. Megan Marie Manuel. Sarah Halliday Stetson. Jacqueline Arnaudo. Kimberly Perth. Damian Scott. Catherine Marie Keeney. Nora Elizabeth Perfetto. Ashley Edith Zare. Stephen Frederick Knackley. Rachel Lee Missel. Angelia Marie Lynn Burke. Jamie Francis Hillman. Kelsey Bickford. Mackenzie Duncan. Julinas Pena. Kelly Lynn Hoteling. Caitlin Patricia Jacobs. Brittany Carol Heck. Brian Michael Cleversey. Alyssa Kimberly Devons. Emily Hamilton. Megan Kabilski. Tracy L. Norton. Jamie Marie Quick. Megan Hamilton. Lisa Capobianco. Suzanne Hegarty. Heather Doran. Jill Marie Holland. Rosanna Faith Pierce. Jessica Carrerio. Joanna Jane. Kathleen Schaefer Corbin. Megan Marie Flood. Will the master's degree candidates in healthcare administration please come forward? Helen Eshinor Stepawani. Jody Marie Chambers. Karis Elise Browder. Marissa Zog. Lydia Simpson. Lauren Elizabeth Rolandini. Elena Marie Maley. Tiondra Rogers. Kelly Marie Elliott. John Joseph Ferranini III. Stephen Stoll. Jennifer Lasardi. Lilia Zhushma Zotta. Will the master's degree candidates in economic crime management please come forward? Jacqueline Romano. Kimberly Dale Moody. Leanne Stuhlmiller. Craig S. Hannaford. Scott Richard Franzen. Christopher Lee King. Michael Rosano. Jennifer Coleman. Grace Ann McCarthy. William J. Stakes, Jr. Holly Ray. Lisa Ann Fricker Gruss. Kevin Bose. Edward Joseph Stoker. Will the Masters of Business Administration degree candidates please come forward? Tom McCormick. Brittany Elizabeth Money. Cody White. Sean Phelan. Bradley J. Auble. Tina Newvine Busler. Andrei Seluzitsky. Dennis R. Thomas. Heather Renee Rinderley. Alberto Rios. Will the master's degree candidates in cybersecurity please come forward? Kurt Hans Zimmerman. Rebecca Jo Rowan. Joshua Paul Bandy. Scott Weinblum. Travis J. Eggerbroad. Jennifer J. Erlinson. Whitney K. Holly. Maxim Gorbachevsky. David Plood. Jasmine Fonseca. Kelly Jeanette Clear. David L. Sarmanian. Tammy M. Rivera. Todd Vincent Waskowitz. Christina Horvath. Candace McLeod Carter. Kristen Marie Cooper. Cynthia Rose Ganella. Matthew Aaron Wood. John Werner Wolf. Nicole Elizabeth Lent Miller. Ryan J. Cornachia. Russ Hausneck II. Patrick A. Smith. Aldo Greyes. Ernie Timothy Rosado. Rebecca Lorraine Ramirez. Christopher Collins. Michael Clapsaddle. Will the master's degree candidates in liberal studies please come forward? Karen Ganellas Summers. Mary Hayes Gordon.
I think it's worth an applause for all of our graduates today. I'm now pleased to present Mr. Rob Sherman, the president of the Utica College National Alumni Council and member of the class of 1974.
Good afternoon. As president of the National Alumni Council, it is my pleasure to welcome you as the newest members of our Alumni Association, which numbers 22,000 strong. As graduates, you may think your relationship with the college is about to come to an end. In all actuality, the relationship is taking a new path. As you leave UC and begin your careers or further your education, I urge you to stay connected with your alma mater by participating in alumni events, receptions, and programs, by encouraging others to attend UC for their education, and of course, by letting the college know how you are doing personally and professionally. In addition, please remain connected, even if it is through various social media networks, such as our alumni site on LinkedIn or on our UC Facebook page. In closing, I offer all graduates my heartfelt congratulations, and I wish you and your families well and the very best. Please return home to Utica College often. Immediately after commencement, I encourage all graduates to attend the reception being held back on campus. Be sure to visit the Utica College National Alumni Council table, where we have a small gift to welcome you to the Alumni Association. I also hope to see you on campus during the fun-filled 2013 homecoming weekend, which is scheduled for October 18th through the 20th. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck.
Our faculty, staff, family, and friends, I now officially present to you the graduating class of 2013. This concludes our commencement ceremony. Please remain in your seats until the faculty and platform party have left the stage. We hope you'll join us at the reception back on campus. Please check your commencement program for the location and directions. Feel free to remain in the theater to take pictures using the flowers and stage as a backdrop. Please rise for the recessional.